Good morning, boys and girls. We are going to start off our morning with some DMA warm-up problems. So let's go ahead and get started. We are on week 35, day 2, and since we had Monday off, we're on day 2 for Wednesday. And so let's take a look at our first problem. It says, what is the perimeter of this shape? Now remember, perimeter is the length of the sides. So remember, perimeter is the length of the sides, or the lines that make up this polygon. So as a reminder, we know that this quadrilateral is called a square. And a square, we also know, has 4 equal sides. So since these sides are not labeled, we automatically know what the length of those sides are because we know that a square has 4 equal sides. And even if we didn't have this side labeled, we would still know that this is going to be 4 inches, and this side is also going to be 4 inches long. Now, when we take these lengths and put them all together, we would have 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. Now, if we add 4 and 4, 4 and 4 makes 8, and 8 and another 8 makes 16. So this length of all the sides is 16 inches long. Now, for today's discussion, I want you to think about what would the area be. So if I have 4 rows of squares, and I have 4 squares in each row, what would the area of that square be? So for your discussion question today, I want you to tell me what the area in square units will be for that square. All right, let's take a look at our next problem. The next problem is a missing factor. And so I need to know how many groups of 3 will it take to make 15. So I'm missing my groups. So if I wanted to, I could skip count by 3s, or I could use repeated addition to add on 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 3. Now another way that I could think about this is taking those 15 objects and putting them into groups of 3, which is what I did here, and I would have 5 groups of 3. So this could also be used to help us with division. We start with our total, we have it in groups of 3, and we can figure out how many groups we need. All right, let's take a look at number 2 of this section. It says 7 groups of what number equals 21? Well, I can also do what I just said. I can use division. So if I take 21 and put it into 7 groups, how many will go in each group? Well, if I have 7 groups, and one more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll put one more up here. That's 7. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a multiple of 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Another multiple of 7. 14, or 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and finally 21. How many are in each group? 3 in each group. So our missing factor here is going to be 3. Now again, there's other ways that you could think about it. You could add 7 plus 7 is 14, which we just heard in this when we broke this up. And then another 7 would be 21. So a couple of different ways to think about it. If I take 30 objects and I put it into 6 equal groups, how many objects would be in each group? So again, I could use what I know about multiplication as a missing factor to help me with my missing quotient. Remember the answer to a division sentence? It's called a quotient. So 6 groups of what equals 30? Well, we know that. Most of us know that it's going to be 5, right? Because 30 is a multiple of 5. Just like 35, 40. Oops, sorry. I got to thinking about what I was saying there and I wrote it. All right, let's take a look at our word problem for today. It says Emily has 10 kittens and she has 2 dishes for the kittens' food. So notice it's the kittens' food. It's showing ownership of their food. How many kittens will eat at the dish? So at each dish, so there are an equal number at each dish. So at each dish, if I have 2 dishes, so let's think about this. Here are my 2 dishes. So I'm drawing a visual to help myself. And there are 10 kittens. So they're going to equally share, be around these 2 dishes. So if I know that I have 10 kittens and I'm dividing them into the 2 groups because the bowls are considered the groups, how many will be at each bowl? Well, I could do 5 and 5, right? So 5 kittens would be around this bowl and 5 kittens would be around this bowl. So this is a division problem because we're using what we know about taking these kittens and sharing them between the 2 bowls. All right, let's take a look at the next one. It looks like it's a 2-step problem, so let's see what happens here. It says Mr. Gupta's class collected 371 canned goods for the food drive. Miss Dolby's and Miss Nez's class collected 314 cans each. So both of them had the same number. How many canned goods did 3 classes collect? So if I didn't know, let's say for example, if I didn't know how many, or if I wanted to put these all together, we're going to add them, right? Because all 3 classes collected. So we're adding, we're using addition. But what I could do is I could take this 314 and this 314 and add it together first, because I know these 2 classes both collected the same amount. 4 and 4 is 8, 10 and 10 is 20, and 300 and 300 is 600. Now I can take this amount, 371, and add it onto my 628. So I'm going to take this 628 and I'm going to add 371 more. And I'm going to put a plus symbol here. I'm going to erase this one. And I'm going to find that when I put these together, I have 8 and 1 makes 9. 70 and 20 makes 90. That means I don't have enough tens to make a new 100. So that 90 stays in the tens place. And the 600 and the 300 makes 900. So 999 is the total cans that they collected for the day. So we can use what we know here and write our equation and show the equation with our sum. And 999 would be our sum. So those are the problems for today. Don't forget to go back to this first problem where we talked about what is the area today. Please let me know that in our discussion. Have a great Wednesday, guys, and see you tomorrow.